Hi there, welcome back to Midweek Morning Encouragement. My name is John Tracy, and I'm glad that we've got the opportunity this morning just to hang out for a little bit. I hope you're doing well. And today we find ourselves right in the middle of what has been referred to throughout church history as the Passion Week of Jesus Christ, the final week that he lived on earth before his crucifixion and death, burial, and ultimately the resurrection that we'll celebrate this Sunday. And in the book of Psalms, chapter 88, we actually read what many believe to be a prophetic rendering of the final night that Jesus would spend on the earth while he was held in captivity in a pit leading up to his death. Listen to what it says. O Lord God of my salvation, I cry out day and night before you. Let my prayer come before you. Incline your ear to my cry. For my soul is full of troubles, and my life draws near to Sheol. I am counted among those who go down to the pit. I am a man who has no strength, like one set loose among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, like those whom you remember no more, for they are cut off from your hand. You have put me in the depths of the pit, in the regions dark and deep. Your wrath lies heavy upon me, and you overwhelm me with all your waves. Selah. You have caused my companions to shun me. You have made me a horror to them. I am shut in so that I cannot escape. My eye grows dim through sorrow. O Lord, why do you cast my soul away? Why do you hide your face from me? And I'm going to skip down to verse 15 as well. Afflicted and close to death from my youth up, I suffer your terrors. I am helpless. Your wrath has swept over me. Your dreadful assaults destroy me. They surround me like a flood all day long. They close in on me together. You have caused my beloved and my friend to shun me. My companions have become darkness. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to actually go to a place in Israel that is called the Dungeon Pit of Caiaphas. And it is believed to be the location that is being described of here in Psalm chapter 88. I want you to take a look at this footage that I was able to record while I was there. These are ancient first century stairs where it is believed that Jesus Christ was led on his way to the high priest Caiaphas' house the night before his crucifixion, and it is also believed that underneath this area there is a pit where he spent his last night on earth. I'm standing here in the pit where Jesus spent his very last night on the earth. He was suspended from the shaft, which is just above us, and he was dropped down in here into the pit. Psalm 88 is a prophetic psalm that speaks of this very night that Jesus spent here, and it closes with the statement that Jesus' only friend was the darkness. And that's true. He was forsaken by all. He knew that on the cross, even his Father would turn his face away. And as I stand here, I can't help but be overwhelmed with the reality that Jesus did this for me, and he did it for you. He left the glories of heaven, the creator of the universe, the all-powerful sovereign God of the ages, came down in human form and was treated like this. And the suffering got worse after this. You know the story on the cross and the good news that follows with the resurrection. That he did this, friend, for you, and he did it for me. Whether or not this is indeed the precise location of Jesus' final night on earth may not be certain, and yet this we can be sure of. Jesus did certainly endure great suffering and pain and agony on his way to the cross, and it culminated in the terrible, gruesome death on a Roman cross. And he did it as the sacrificial lamb, slain for the sins of the world, that whoever would call on his name would be saved. As we conclude our time today, I'd like to just finish by reading what did in fact take place on the day following Jesus' final night of captivity. And I'm going to read from Matthew 27, verse 32 and following. As they were going out, they found a Cyrenian man named Simon, they forced this man to carry his cross. When they came to a place called Golgotha, which means skull place, they gave him wine mixed with gall to drink. But when he tasted it, he would not drink it. After crucifying him, they divided his clothes by casting lots. Then they sat down and were guarding him there. Above his head, they put up the charge against him in writing, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then 2 criminals were crucified with him, one on the right and one on the left. Those who passed by were yelling insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "The one who would demolish the sanctuary and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." In the same way, the chief priests with the scribes and elders mocked him and said, "He saved others, but he cannot save himself. He is the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and then we will believe in him. He has put his trust in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him. For he said, 'I am God's son.'" In the same way, even the criminals who were crucified with him kept taunting him. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over the whole land. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of those standing there heard this, they said, "He is calling for Elijah." Immediately, one of them ran and got a sponge, filled it with sour wine, fixed it on a reed, and offered him a drink. But the rest said, "Let's see if Elijah comes to save him." Jesus shouted again with a loud voice and gave up his spirit. Suddenly, the curtain of the sanctuary was split in 2 from top to bottom. The earth quaked and the rocks were split. The tombs were also opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And they came out of the tombs after his resurrection, entered the holy city, and appeared to many. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and the things that had happened, they were terrified. And they said, "This man really was God's son." Friend, I want to thank you for spending these few minutes with me this morning. But I also want to encourage you that no matter how many pressing things you may have scheduled on your calendar today, or even throughout the remainder of this week, as you contemplate all the things that you have to get done this week, do not allow yourself to be too busy to pause and reflect and meditate on the work that Jesus Christ accomplished for us this very week, a little over 2,000 years ago. The day when the Son of God satisfied the wrath of God by taking on himself the punishment for sin that you and I deserve to pay for ourselves. Sins that he did not commit, friend, so that God could be both just in punishing sin, but also he could be the justifier of those who will believe in Jesus Christ alone and call on him by faith to save them. And if you've never done that, I hope that today you will, that today would be your day of salvation. And if you are a believer in Jesus Christ, do not be discouraged by the ample evidence of sinful brokenness that we still see and experience all around us in this earthbound existence, because Jesus Christ has already secured the victory through his death and his resurrection. And listen, one day soon, he most definitely will make all things right again, and his followers will enjoy eternal peace with him forever. Thanks again for spending these few moments with me this morning. And if you'd like to receive these kinds of Wednesday devotionals from Keystone Bible Church by text message every single week, then I would encourage you just to text the initials MME to the number that's on the screen right now, and we'll make sure that we get that sent over to you every single Wednesday. I hope you have a great day meditating on the work of Jesus for you. And I'll see you again very soon for more midweek morning encouragement. God bless.